No, no, no. You got to hit the button. And then this one over here makes the thing happen. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is what day is today? Today is January 9th, 2024. We're gonna write a little bit of code today. How are you doing there, chat room? It's been a bumpy morning so far. Let me bring on, let's say hello to the chat room. They're right over here. We're broadcasting live to Twitch and YouTube. Hope you're having a good time wherever you are. Everything's tuned in and things are looking good out there. Let me say hello to the chat room. I see we got mostly folks on Twitch so far today. Where do we go here? Lanky Scottish Nerd, hello. Sin Stalker, hey, happy new year to you. And the Lanky Scottish Nerd resubscribing on Twitch with Prime. Thank you so much. 3 months with us, and I'll make another donation to a charity. I still have to figure out what I'm donating to. Napalm, happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, so we're back on Tuesday, Thursday schedule. I streamed every day last week. Trying to catch up, trying to get more stuff done with Tags app. Didn't quite get everything done that I wanted. I'm probably a good 3 weeks behind. We'll talk more about all of that in a minute. How you doing there? Smirking Squiggly, hello, hello. MDS Ubuntu, good to see you, as well as Jean Valjean. Hello, that's Coder 24601 to you and me. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for tuning in. Good morning, Hackney Gaming 15. How you doing over there? Welcome, welcome. I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. And let me get you up to speed on some of the things that are going on because, ooh, I mean, let me make it a little bit more ominous. Ooh. Let me dial in. I'm really enjoying the synthwave playlist over here from Stream Beats. This is called Turn 1. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Out there on the. Take a look. No, we'll fire that off in just a second. This is music that's free for anybody to listen to. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres of music available. I like the synth wave. I like the EDM music. I even like the rock playlist they have. They're instrumental. They're really great to have running in the background. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for making this music available that we're listening to today. Go ahead, hit it up there. No? What do you mean, no, you don't know this hat? Do it again. No. Still not getting a reference back on that hat. Wow. It's my Flyers hat and it has the GPS location of Philadelphia on it. That's annoying. Here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Maybe you saw late last week, I relaunched the C# with C# Fritz series. My employer decided to move on. They wanted to go in a different direction with live streaming and presenting content for new developers to learn C#. That's fine. That's their decision. The original C# with C# Fritz series is available. It's still out there on the .NET YouTube channel. Anybody's welcome to browse to it, watch that. But there's a lot of folks that don't like watching content in the mode, the format that I typically present here, where we go for 2-4 hours answering all kinds of questions and writing and building projects together. But there are folks that prefer smaller bite-sized chunks. And I've received a lot of feedback over the last 2 months. Hey, when are you going to do another run with basics of C#? So we took the content, repackaged it, retargeted it, updated it, and put it together with some updated notebooks. And I'm going to target 2 episodes a week. We just released episode 3 today. There's a website with companion material. There's notebooks that folks can download. We're going to have content samples that you're going to be able to browse to and download, run in code spaces, run locally in a dev container on your own machine as we get to that level of development and education. And it's all available in this package that I call C# in the cards, because we're going to use throughout the entire series playing cards as an example, as a scenario that we're going to relate to, and probably as we get later on past some of the basics, we'll get into building a game, a card game, probably. But this content is already it's there's at least a base that's written that I'm adapting and moving forward with, and I want to make sure that it's easy for folks to access. And we've had discussions about making a tips and tricks deck of cards, about bundling everything up when the series is done and publishing it, self-publishing out on Amazon, so that if folks prefer to get things in book format, you want something printed out, you want a Kindle version, an ebook version you can look at, sure. Bundle and make all of that available, but we're going to trickle out these 5 to 10 minute episodes. In this last episode, I think it was like 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh my gosh, Chaotic Monkey with the resub.
Chaotic Monkey just resubscribed for 34 months. Good morning, Jeff and chat.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much. 34 months with this, and I'll make another donation to a charity. Much appreciated. So, I had set everything up. I'm getting better at recording and editing these videos. So I recorded, edited, had everything ready to go yesterday. I scheduled it, had a pull request all set up. Go ahead. I don't think it'll find it. It's having a hard time finding it this morning. Yeah. So I had everything all set up. I had a scheduled publication at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube for episode 3. I had a pull request all set up to publish to the website on GitHub, and there's a major outage on GitHub right now. Actions won't run, APIs are down, Copilot's having a hard time. It's not going to find it.
Now we know.
Oh,
And knowing is half the battle.
maybe it will this time. What do I know? Clearly, it did it for you, Hat Stand. So, and that's right. I do need to get that reconfigured. I've got a lot to do. So I was all set to deploy and publish the website as the YouTube video went live. YouTube video went live, no problem. Website, I merged and the action wouldn't run. Literally, it was unable to find like the checkout action on GitHub. So I real quick went through and did the Azure, I'm going to push the button and deploy. And I pushed everything out. It's out there live. I've even added some navigation updates and shortened the introduction that's on the homepage there. So I'm happy that the website's updated. There's more tweaks and tuning. What I want you to see, and Friday we spent some time working on tweaking and tuning this website. It's a very simple, like 1-2 page website. It's maybe got 3 pages now. One of those pages being the generic page that the markdown for the lesson is loaded into. But what I want you to see is this website is completely built with Blazor. There's no moving pieces to it. There's a CSV file on disk that lists here's the posts that are available. Here's the lessons that are out there. And all the lessons are marked down, sitting in markdown files that it just reads, interprets, and puts into the frame. Consequently, the runtime, the processing time for the website is like 15 milliseconds response time. Like, no problem there at all. Like, it loads very, very fast. Yeah, it looks like GitHub is finally back to normal. Yeah, there was about an hour and a half there where nothing was working. Like, other than source code, good luck. So C#InTheCards.com is the website. You can check it out. It's a template that I downloaded from Envato Elements, and I adapted to work with Blazor. There's the link to the website if you want to check it out. And got it configured, up and running, tweaked and tuned it a little bit, generated a bunch of images using Bing Chat AI, and I feel good about it. Even the thumbnails for each of the episodes, even with the photo of me in the corner, they're all generated by AI. So, how you doing there? Danny Camps, hello, good to see you. Jedi Mega Man is here. Welcome. Surly Dev, thanks so much. Great to see you. Yeah, Danny, it does look like GitHub is back to normal, except for it says packages is operating normally now. Pull requests is degraded now. Smells like there's an attack going on. Smells like. So, like, whatever. These things happen. So, yeah. What can we do? Bad folks are going to be bad folks. So the new episode is out there. I'm really happy to find a cadence with delivering these. Delivering the episodes over on YouTube, and I hope it builds and folks find this and find it interesting. Last night, of course, college football championship here in the States. There's always tough Michigan Wolverines who defeated my Penn State Nittany Lions in State College, right, in Pennsylvania. Earlier this season, they went on to defeat those Washington Huskies last night. I forget what the final score was. It was like 31-14 or something like that. Yeah, I'd clear out some of the Stream Elements messages. Yep. I might as well just turn them off while I'm here. Just disable them until I get the new charities set up. So really cool. Congratulations to the folks at no, none of this is right. What the heck is this? Big congratulations to the folks in Michigan at Ann Arbor on winning their... I have a pending validation on an email address with Stream Elements. Hey there, Alu the Crow.
Just resubscribed for 11 months. And speaking of being from Michigan, here's 11 months to you, Fritz.
Thank you so
Coffee
much.
Aluth Point.
Much appreciate. Yeah, and I'll make another donation to a charity. Thank you so much for that support. Why aren't you letting me... This Stream Elements page is awful. Dear Lord. I don't know what they did, but wow, did they screw up their website? Like, okay. Holy smokes. Yeah, let me just turn off those couple of timers on the chat bot. Yeah, the free subscription. That's fine. We'll leave that on there. Just update that text. And I'll just say, and support a charity. To a charity until I get that identified. There we go. Cool. All right, where was I? So, big congratulations to the folks in Michigan. And, of course, next year, Washington joins the Big Ten. So it was actually 2 teams from the Big Ten conference that played for the national championship last night. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And Washington travels to Penn State next year. So my guess is our new friends in the Pacific Northwest are going to be visiting for a whiteout game. So, yeah. So Danny, I'm finding that in the week that I published the 3 videos for this C# in the Card series that total, 25, 26 minutes, total minutes. I have more views on YouTube on those 3 25-minute videos than I do on the last handful of live videos combined. Like, no offense to the folks that are watching the live stream over on YouTube. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you so much for tuning in over there. And I appreciate you joining us. But I get a lot more traction on those really short pre-recorded videos. That's the way the algorithm works. Whatever. That's the thing. How you doing there, Level 002? Welcome. Good to see you here. Yep, that's the link to the YouTube channel. Same screen name if you're over on YouTube and you want to jump over to Twitch. Same screen name, C# Fritz. Drop it in on Twitch and you can pop over there. I looked at the Google Webmaster Console started indexing C# in the cards, and with the response time that the website delivers, and part of me also looks at, here, let me bring over I guess we can take a look at the console for this. I stepped it up so it's running on 2 processors. I don't know. But I can take a look and show you that before we dive in and hit the ARM machine. Maybe we can't. That's really neat, Azure. What the heck? Are you kidding me? There it is. Yeah, let's head over here. We can take a look at that. So, you're sure YouTube has played hundreds, if not thousands, of shorts? Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, these aren't shorts that I'm publishing. Shorts on YouTube are 1 minute. They're not like TikTok where you can be up to 10 minutes. So this is a basic 2 install on Azure. And I'm not quite sure what the spike is here. Oh, it deployed and updated a new version.
Warm Peas just
Warm Peas,
for 12
thank
months.
you so much.
Woo 12 months of learning and fun.
Oh yeah.
Sharp heart.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, and I'll make another donation to a charity. So here's the website. Did the action actually ever fire? Nope, it's still hanging out there. See how it's cute? It won't unstick and launch here. It's been having a hard time.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Okay, maybe it's going to start finding it. C# in the cards was in my stream while this was brought up. What do you mean? How you doing there, Greenish Pepper? Happy New Year. Yeah, Warm Peas hitting 1 year with us. Thank you so much for 1 year. That is awesome. There might be a backlog that we're jammed up in here. Anyways, but like the response time is low double-digit milliseconds, which tells me then that I could probably even sneak this back from a basic 2. No, you know what? Let's leave it go there. A basic 2 pricing plan, right? And I've been transparent about some of these costs. It's going to cost me $25 a month. I could probably take it back to just $10 and one processor. But I'm already using 50% of my memory. So half of the 3.5 gig there is going to be about 1.5. I'll be in about the 90% memory range. So you know what? I think I will just leave it there with 2 processors running this. And I don't have it set to shut off at all. I have it set to run continuously. So I don't know. I think we're okay. Oh, the streamer someone brought up. Yeah, that's a little bit aware of the idea. At least the format of the series went to. The content is stuff that we had presented every summer for the past 2 years. So, but yep, you're right. Continuing here. Let me see. Yeah. I think we're in good shape. So, and like I said, the website is extremely simple, and it's built with Blazor. So, I've got a couple of components here, and if you look at the actual pages, there's an about page now, a home page, lesson details, and a materials page. And I really think that my materials page, where I say, hey, you don't really need anything, just watch the videos on YouTube, follow along with pen and paper. I think I should probably record a video, provide some links in here for downloading Visual Studio Code and how to configure with notebooks if folks want to download and run the notebooks locally. So, I believe they're shared vCPU cores. Looking at the plan, there was a question here from Danny. Are they shared or dedicated cores? I believe they are shared cores. You know what? Feature. There we go. And I don't have any daily backups. I don't really need daily backups because it's all static code sitting on GitHub. I don't need staging slots, and I don't need zone redundancy because there isn't that much traffic hitting it. I thought that these were shared instances versus dedicated that you get down here in the standard plans, right? Which are a little bit more. So I'm almost positive that's a shared. Basic dedicated environment for dev test. Yeah, because I'm on a right B2, so the basic. So no, that is dedicated. I did not pick up the shared one. Right, which is I think it's just the free. That's funny. It doesn't show. Whatever. So there you go. Hey, Amal, good to see you. We're gonna jump back into the Blazor code, but I'm really happy seeing these numbers the way they are, nice and small. Not really, and the CPU percentage spiked a little bit, but then it levels off. So I'm okay with that. And I copied out my response time panel, so it's over here. And for some reason, there was some sort of a spike, probably when I deployed the update. And it was reloading. So there was a 12-second bit there. I could have a staging slot, deploy there, and do the bit flip, but so what? It works just fine. Before I dive into Tags app, let me head back over here. Cloud providers tend to be a bit more expensive. Yeah. So So to Danny's question here and comment that cloud providers can be more expensive, that was a hosting plan that I showed. A hosting plan can host multiple sites. So while I'm being charged $25 a month to run that, I've only got one website on it. I can easily put another dozen websites on there, and they'll all run and share processor on that hosting plan. So, so in that sense, it's shared among my resources, and I can control how many resources are put in there to share those capabilities, and I can deploy and balance the number of plans and the number of services that use those appropriately. Let me put up those last two questions here. Let me make sure. Exactly, level 002. Like a virtual private server, right? It's my server. You can put however many websites on it you want, and it will appropriately manage, juggle, and share those resources across the various websites. Let me touch on this question from Warm Peas. C# in the cards, does that mean we're going to be able to purchase a deck of cards? It's been discussed. It's an idea that we have, and where I want to go. Oh, I should have. Some folks have shared some images of other playing cards that have tips and tricks printed in the middle of them, right? So the idea is that you would get cards that instead of having, right, the really big pip in the middle, that's what they call the symbols for the various suits in the middle. Instead of having a really big pip in the middle, we'll have some sort of a tip or fact about the C# programming language in the middle, so that not only can you buy a deck of cards, and it'll be a little bit more expensive because they're going to be custom printed, but not only can you get a little bit of a deck of cards to follow along and learn with, but they'll also have some tips and some things there to learn and remember and hopefully advance your C# skills with. Let me see here. All right, so level 002 says, sorry, new to the chapter. What mode am I using in Blazor, assuming .NET 8? Yes, so the website for C# in the cards is .NET 8. And in that case, because it's not an interactive website, it's a brochure website, really. It's all static server rendered. So all of the content is rendered on the server. I'm using a little bit of output caching so that it's not constantly re-rendering the pages and then delivering them. I'm also doing a little bit of in-memory storage of data, and it renders very, very quickly. But it's all Blazor. And if I want to move that and make it more interactive, I can, and I can dial in just those appropriate pages that I want to be more interactive. So it's all static rendered. Maybe there's a point here in the next bit where I make maybe the framework of the website visible, but for what I built, my concern is copycats, folks downloading and just completely copying the website and content. So yeah, SSR mode, that's right. There is no stream rendering either, because everything's in memory. All of the information about the posts is in memory. The markdown that is written to disk, it loads it. There may be 50K in markdown on disk, loads it very quick, parses, and puts it into the appropriate HTML layout, output caches it for, I forget it, I think I made it like 10 minutes, and then puts it on the screen for you. So, let me see here. So, CS Chimp, to learn Azure and put it on my resume, will I need to pay, or does that free tier have enough to cover that? It has enough to cover that, and there's also, when you go to learn.microsoft.com, the lessons, the tutorials there have what they call a sandbox feature that you can use to follow along the tutorials and learn completely free. If you want to go further and learn and practice and do things outside of those tutorials, you're going to have to sign up and get appropriate Azure resources. And depending on how big a resource you want to tinker with, if you decide you may want to reach out beyond the basic free tiers, that's going to be up to you. But there is a set of resources that are available for free. Very large set of resources available for free on Azure. So if you go azure.microsoft.com/free, right? Yeah. There is a collection of services that are listed there. When you sign up for Azure, you get $200 of credit free. There's a bunch of services you get completely free for the first 12 months, and more than 55 other services that are always free. So, Kubernetes service free, for you to try out. There's a free size that you can work with there. Whole bunch of stuff. Check that out. That's going to get you in and hopefully very productive. That's about 157 pounds. Okay. Thanks for the currency conversion help there. Appreciate it. Danny says, I figured as much. I just initially was like 25 US. I have more RAM and I only pay $648 a month. I hope that's dedicated. Yeah. So, right. I've got 2 processors and 3.5 gig dedicated. So, yep. Level 2 says it would be nice to get certified so that it weighs more in your resume. I think there is a little bit of a certification rush right now, a rush on certifications around the various cloud services, because to say, oh yeah, I know how to work with Azure, I know how to work with AWS, it's a very broad topic. There's lots of services out there. So to add a little bit of certification with that on your resume, on your CV, is going to help. Thai TV here. Hello. Will I ever do an in-depth series about hosting? You think this is most intimidating by many new developers? How to predict cost? Well, help me put some boundaries on that. What would you want to know about hosting? How to predict cost? How to plan to choose? Are those the only things? I mean, I can certainly put that on my list of content. I have Visual Studio series on my list here to get into. But I'll take a note on it to be sure. Video series on service hosting. How to predict cost. What plan to choose. Okay. What services and features to consider. I'll take a note. I'll take a note on that. Not going to say no, but I'm not going to say that it's a high priority. But can always take a request like that and figure out where we want to go with it. Sure. Makes perfect sense to consider and take a look at. Now, did it actually deploy? Nope, still not deployed. But there's a bump there in the running of the website. So, continuing here. At work, you still host everything on IIS? It feels like the early 2000s. Ooh. Windows IIS is nice, and you need to run on IIS if you want to do Active Directory authentication. Many folks want to do Azure Active Directory now, and you can do that. Intra ID, I'm sorry. We don't call it Azure Active Directory. You want to do Intra. And you can be on several... You can be on the Linux-based operating systems, Linux and Unix-based operating systems, and be just fine with that. Cool. Just keeping an eye on things. Predicting cost is the big one, but you see many people concerned about it as well. Okay. There's calculators that are available out there, but also you want to see what kind of performance your application is and plug it into that that structure and figure out, well, does this make sense for me? Yeah, every now and again there's a significant bump that happens on the website on response time, and I don't know what it is. Because this thing is output cached to the nines. Let's see. You worked level 2. Worked at a company that ran like Warm Peas. It's normal. Yeah, it is. It is. They don't adopt the cloud entirely. They still want Azure. They still use Azure, but want to keep more control. And I see that with folks setting up all kinds of policies for deployment. Old School Coder watched the first 3 episodes of C# in the Cards. Loved them. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
People know me.
I guess people know me. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. There's lots more of those coming. And I do have ideas with what to do for the C# in the cards. It's planned. It's something that if the series picks up steam, I mean, right now, the most watched episode has like 500 views. When the series has a couple thousand views, has 10,000 views, we could talk about the deck of cards and actually like move forward with producing it at that point. Too early to tell if it's going to continue picking up. Viewership on episodes 2 and 3 are significantly dropped off compared to episode 1. Like, episode 3 is viewed about a third of the time as episode 1, and episode 2 is reviewed about 2/3 the time as episode 1. So it's like folks hit the playlist, start watching the first episode and go, and leave. So we'll see. We'll see if it gets picked up as more of the other episodes come out that go deeper on other topics, and eventually we get into building a real card game. If they still run old .NET framework, yeah, they cannot run it on Linux. You're correct, level 2. Hey, bald-bearded builder, hello. You'd argue the Azure calculators are super confusing. I completely agree. But for some reason, they're designed to try and help the finance and accounting people at various companies feel good about that. And this is what I struggle with in looking at especially the OpenAI pricing calculators on Azure. Azure OpenAI pricing is really confusing because it basically says, oh, well, you don't know what these things are that we're going to measure you on, so you have to go learn about OpenAI so that you know what these things are before you understand what we're charging you in. Come on there. Yes, old school coder. The C# on the cards. Oh, rolled off there. The C# in the card series is intended to target the very new developer. I want folks, and when we get probably out to episodes, open the other, go look at my notes here. We're gonna get out to. I have tuples scheduled for episode 6. and I should probably push them later. But we're going to get out to about episode 13. And some of the moderate leveled C# developers are going to start tuning in because I do pattern matching at episode 13. I may even want to do pattern matching across 2 or 3 episodes because that's a big topic now. There's a lot of features in there, but it'll start getting more moderate leveled. The beginning episodes are intentionally very beginner, very, very beginner. I want folks who aren't familiar with software development to look at this and go, I can do this. So, one thing you'd like to see on Azure is a price cap. It's already there. It's early, Dev. It's already there. You can set budgets on Azure. That's already a thing. Take a look at your subscription, and there's a budget button there that you can turn on. And you can also it'll alert you as you get close to hitting your budget cap. So, yeah. And ClipTalk was shut down several times by Azure about 2 years ago because we hit the budget cap. Warm Peace says one of their friends was asking about learning C# recently. Very cool. Thank you. Issues with running IIS says level 002. If one of the pools goes down, the app stays down. You can set up web farms with IIS. There's even a web farm manager in IIS that you can configure and register with your Active Directory server, and it will manage your pool of IIS web servers. So that's in there. Containers are a thing that you can do there. Yes. You find most hosting companies rely on data transfer costs, and people sometimes transfer masses of data. Yeah. Warm Peas. Password expires. Yes, early dev. The budget does alerts, and then it will stop. It will stop your website or all of your services in your subscription if you hit your budget cap. And then it's a budget issue for you to decide, well, do I turn it back on? That's a whole nother question. Well, the business says we should turn it off. So it's up to you. Or, you know what? We need to keep running our business. Turn it back on, but figure out how to scale this back down. Like, you're now in performance fix mode, developers. Go. Yeah, level 002. There is a budget thing there. I can't show it on my instances because I have provisioned subscriptions through my job. Yeah, don't use the same app pool for all your apps. No. So, Warm Peace with the question here is Kestrel going to replace IIS eventually? I've heard this question before, and it's a question we get for .NET folks. Kestrel can replace IIS. However, IIS is an operating system level thing. So when you compare Kestrel and IIS, that's like comparing Node Express, and Apache, or what's the other? The lightweight Linux web server, HTTPD. Well, that's Apache, isn't it? Nginx. Thank you. Right? That's like comparing Node Express to Nginx or Apache. Node Express is a web server. You can set it up and have it reverse proxied from Apache or Nginx, so you get a little bit more control at the operating system level before your Node runtime in JavaScript engine kicks in and starts running. So it becomes, Apache is more general. If you want to kind of weld together a little bit of Express, a little bit of PHP, a little bit of .NET, you can do that and stand up each of those individual servers and have Apache kind of route and manage all of them together. Same thing with IIS. So you're able to kind of bring these things together. However, that's what .NET YARP, Y-A-R-P, does really, really well. Take a look at YARP sometime. Let's see here. Yet another, that's right. Yet another reverse proxy. You better believe it. All right. So our friends at Gunner sent me a new pair of glasses yesterday. And this is a pair of glasses that I helped them design. We had an idea, and our friend 9.5, you know the 9.5. She's an amazing streamer, does a bunch of crafting things, raising money for a bunch of different charities and whatnot. But she typically does fiber crafts on her stream, but all kinds of crazy things going on. And her and our friend Imperial, they have glasses that have magnetic frames. And for Gunner, here's a company that has all these deals with various game companies to promote and have Call of Duty glasses, Diablo glasses, the World of Warcraft glasses we have. I was like, that's really cool. Are you able to do something like that? And they said, no, we can't, because there's a patent on that. We can't make those types of glasses. But what we can do is we can swap out the lenses. So this is the new glasses. You're seeing this first, chat. They're not releasing these until tomorrow. The press release goes out tomorrow, but I got my hands on, I'm brand new box, all right? Nobody is opening this anywhere except here. They gave me the ability. They said, go ahead, Fritz, we want you to show these off because you helped us out with this. Look at this. Look at that fat box. I haven't even seen these yet, but check it out. Brand new glasses, exclusive. These are called the Gunner Cupertino. These are going to be available tomorrow. All right. Gunner does sponsor the stream. I am a Gunner creator. They do give me glasses for free, but comes with a bag, comes with a cloth, and check out these glasses. Okay. Typical black glasses with the rims on it. But do you see right here? They're magnetic. So what you can do, if I remember this correctly, come on now. They didn't give me any instructions with them. Where is it? I don't know how to do this. There's no instructions. First bit of feedback. I need instructions. Fritz isn't this smart. Is there instructions in the box? No. But I can feel the lenses pop out. Because they sent me a bunch of other lenses that you can put on it. Or do they just pop on top of them? I think they just pop on top. So, look at this. Right? So there's sunglasses. And now I've got sunglasses. How cool is that? Right? So I love the ingenuity in these to be able to swap out lenses. Now, I thought we were supposed to be able to pop out. Yeah. Like, I can see there's a... There's... It looks like... Yeah, there we go. I can either put them right on top or they pop out. Right? Look at that. And you could just pop in the next one. Now I don't need to buy transitions or anything. Like, just swap them out. How cool is that? Right? So, extra lenses, the different types. So, they gave me the yellow amber glasses like you typically see me wear when I'm using the computer. They sent me clear lenses, and they also sent me the Amber Max lenses. These are the ones that they recommend if you're working at night. So let me snap these ones in. Look at that. I love this. I love this idea because now I can get one set of frames and I can update my glasses. I can update. I don't know if they're making these on prescription, but if you're updating prescription, you could swap out and just pop in magnetically the next set of lenses. I don't need to buy new frames. I like these frames. Just swap in. So the dark amber like this, these block 99% of the blue light. So that at night, when you're trying to cool down and you're trying to relax and get ready for bed, you're trying to get ready to sleep, you can still be doing a little bit on screen, reading a book, reading a Kindle, your tablet, and you're not being kept awake and your eyes being really hit with all that blue light. So that's what they recommend for these. The Amber Max is what they call those ones because they block the maximum amount of amber light. It's 99%, I think it is. So it is. That's exactly what it is, Mickey. It's a heavier filter for blue light. So I'm gonna put the standard. These are 35% amber blocking, blue blocking lenses back in here. And come on, get in there. There it goes. There we go. And I'll put the other one back in. And the one thing that I am noticing is because you're handling the lenses so much, you smudge just a smidge. You smidge a smudge? A smudge of schmidging. A smidge of smudging? So, but comes with nice. Love that. So I do have transition glasses that automatically change from amber to, right, the 35% amber like this, change to sunglasses when I go outside. Those are very cool. But to be able to swap them out and have this deep collection. Look at that. I've got 3 other sets of lenses that I can drop in and make my glasses what I need when I'm going around there. So these glasses are brand new. They're going to be released tomorrow. The only place that you can learn about these on the web right now is right here. All right. So these are called the Cupertino glasses. These will not be covered. But it's like the first 60 days that a pair of glasses is available are not. You can't use my coupon code and get those glasses with the discount. But there's all kinds of other glasses available. Level 2 is asking, what lenses do I recommend for a programmer? I recommend the Amber 35. So they're the yellow glasses that you see me wear here. You wear them throughout the day. You'll notice that you don't have headaches. You don't get tired in after lunch, 1, 2 o'clock. If you're in the States and you have a healthcare savings account, you have a flexible savings account, these are covered under that program. You can use that program to buy gunner glasses. I really like for the yellow glasses. The World of Warcraft ones are still on. They're not part of my discount. They're really cool, but any of the glasses, these are my Marin glasses. Any of those, the glasses that are available out there on the website with the amber lenses are really good, and I would recommend. They've also got prescription ones available that you can use, and my transitions are prescription as well. They will do bifocal. If you need bifocal lenses, they will do bifocal for you. So it's great stuff from the folks at Gunner. Happy to have been working with them for the past 5 years now. That I've been a Gunner creator, a Gunner supporter, and I've got quite the collection of Gunner glasses now. So we'll stick with these ones. We'll stick with the Cupertinos today. But I wanted to make sure that I gave you a chance to check out and learn more about the new magnetic glasses that they're making. Swap out the lenses. Can't wait to see how they innovate with this, because swapping out the entire lens like that, it's like rotating the tires on your car, but for your glasses, right? Think about it. If I'm wearing the sunglasses and they get scratched or damaged or some way, oh gosh, the sunglasses, what am I going to do? Just get another pair of lenses and pop them in. Boop, done. It's like rotating the tires, except it's on your glasses. The amber, these are the 35. Right? These are... Stand by. Oh, look at the Call of Duty glasses. I have the World of Warcraft Horde. Oh, no, I have Amber 65. I'm sorry. Amber 65 is what these are. I stand corrected. And I've also got... The gaming glasses or the work and home glasses are really good ones for folks that work in tech. I have the Stark Industry Edition ones as well. Yeah, I have Amber 65s for most of my glasses. They do look good. They're right there, right out of... That's the Amber Max. I was showing off the Stark glasses the other day. I don't know if I have them right here. That's the Razor Torpedoes. Put these over here. Ah, there they are. There's the Stark glasses. So you can look like Tony Stark and right, act like you're calling out to Edith. So the Amber Max is 98. Yeah, kind of like hubcaps. That's right. That's right, Miki. Yeah. Right? Being able to change out the lenses. Really cool. Really cool. Kwaku has the Gunner Intercept with amber lens. What you have is it has some degree of... It does have a degree... It has... They put a half degree kick of magnification in there to make it a little bit easier to see screens that you're looking at. My wife found it a little bit distracting at first, but she really appreciates it now. My older daughter in college wears a pair, she wears the Intercept at college. And when she changes from looking at the screen at the front of the room to looking at her tablet, her iPad that she's taking notes on, that magnification and that adjustment helps her eyes. So, hey, Dr. Cox, GitHub issue. Everything's resolved there. Website's deployed for C# in the Cards. Episode 3 is live. And we're talking about these new Gunner glasses, the Cupertino glasses that are available that have removable lenses. It's not popping out now. There it goes. So you can replace and upgrade your lenses between, and I flip-flopped them over to sunglasses and now back to computer glasses. Really, really cool stuff. The new glasses, the glasses that were just released in the last 2 months. So basically, if you look at the new page, I believe, don't quote me on this. I believe everything going back to the Talic. You can't, and the Loki God of Mischief, special edition glasses. But Vertex, Marin, Intercept, you can use my coupon code on those, and you should get the discount. So the 15% off discount that I have, the Call of Duty, the Assassin's Creed, the Diablo, and the World of Warcraft glasses. I think Loki Asgard edition you might be okay with. Yeah. Hey there, Manoj. Hello, hello. So there you go. There's my Gunner bit for today to talk about some of the cool things that have been happening there. Really excited. These release tomorrow. The Gunner Cupertino glasses. So, and of course, when you use my link down below to go over to the Gunner website, if you order a pair of glasses, and if you use my code, if you don't use my code, it lets them know that you came from here, that you support the stream, and they occasionally give me a little bit of a payment for helping out and introducing more folks to Gunner glasses. So big thanks to their folks for supporting the stream and building the new Cupertino glasses. All right, we've talked about glasses for. You want a pair, Miki? I felt that way back when I got my first pair, and now I think I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I've got like 10 pairs of their glasses now. So, oh, I've got 12 pairs. But I'm demonstrating them, showing them off and all. Do I use the Ember 65 during the day? Yes. I use them during the day when I'm at my computer. At night, after dinner, I've flipped over and I've experimented with using the Ember Max glasses. So they're, and I've been told the Ember Max glasses, I tried them on an airplane. They're pretty good to get you into sleep mode on an airplane. When I travel to Sweden in February, I'm going to bring my Ember Max glasses and probably wear them on the plane. So they are, yeah, these ones. So these are the Riot Amber Max glasses, and they've got a smaller profile. The Riot has these are a taller lens. They have a slightly shorter lens. So, and you may have seen there's promotional photos out there of me wearing the Riots. So, exactly like League of Legends, they do name their glasses after various gaming names and whatnot. Let's switch over. Let's get ready to do some work over on the ARM device. So I want to dive back in and get back into coding on TagZap, working on Blazor. I appreciate you giving me some time here to talk about Gunner. Like I said, I'm a big fan of their products. I purchased their products. I have I have 2 pairs of glasses that I purchased on my own before I connected with them and started doing promotions of their product. So, all right, let's head over. I have, right? Do I have it running? There we go. Yeah, let's head over to the other screen and we can start talking about and dive back in. This is JARMuary. We're working on an ARM-based device. This is a Windows dev kit device. Has an ARM processor, and no running apps, evidently. Where is it? There's a thing here. Ah, there it is. 8 logical processors, a Snapdragon core there. Look at that. 32 gig of RAM. So for a developer, it's got a decent configuration for what I want to do, what I want to work with here. So let me dive back in and let's get configured and running with building .NET applications, building with Blazor here. Because .NET is just-in-time compiled, that means that I can jump back and forth into, come on now, in between Intel-based x64 processors and ARM-based processors, and it all behaves the same unless I'm working with unmanaged code. So I'm gonna split my screen here, shrink that, drop into source, and I'm gonna go into my Blazor project. So I'll leave the bottom panel here so I can do work in source control, and up here I'll set up and run the website in watch mode, so as I make changes, it automatically rebuilds and updates the website. Level asks, so I wouldn't use AOT in this case. I could. There is a little bit of reflection used in this application. I could get to a point where I don't use reflection and I could use AOT. I could use AOT very, very easily in the C# in the cards website. I could do that. You know what? The database isn't running and it's getting grouchy. That's fine. We'll dial that in. Yes, I know you are unhappy over here. Just double checking. Cool. That's fine. What? All right. Let's fix this. How do I split the terminal? In Windows Terminal here, Alt-Shift- will split the terminal horizontally. Control-Shift-W will close that panel, and Alt-Shift+ will split it vertically. And then you can use Alt up, down, left, and right to move between the various panels. All right. So, I should have left that open though, because I need to drop into Windows Subsystem for Linux and start up our container. So I'll do that. I'll jump over here. Yeah, it's not quite tmux, but it's tmux-ish, right? Of course, I can open new tabs also, right? If I want to go over here. And I don't have to, I'm not stuck on just PowerShell, right? I can choose which shell I want. Heck, let's just open the Ubuntu 2204 over here, right? Installing? No, you're not installing. That's what you don't know. So it's out there. So let me start that. And watch over here. This is going to suddenly go, oh. No. Fine. Do that again. Close that. Jump back over here. Enter a new unit now. Sectional Octagon. Hello. Welcome. What? I don't know. What? What? Give me the other Ubuntu. Yeah, there we go. There it is running. So now I've got Linux over here and Windows over here, all on the same machine running on ARM. Can you rebind that shortcut? Yeah, absolutely you can. Take a look in the settings. Take a look in the settings. And where is it? Because I know, because I have done that in the past. Actions. There you go. So split pane, if you want to change those, go for it. Yep, just open a terminal and take a look. So it is tmux-ish. Right? Like, these are things, it's not tmux. Tmux has a whole bunch of other configurations and things you can do, and configuring status bars to do all kinds of wacky things and report different information down there. But Windows Terminal does have multiple panes, and it does have multiple tabs, so you can bounce back and forth. And of course, you can open other sessions by just opening another terminal. So there we go. So the website is up and running, and it should have opened over here. Hey, look at that. Look, it's running. So previously, our waterfall view works, and we had it generate this little bit of information. The CSS around the edges isn't quite great. Needs a little bit of work. I didn't do portrait overlay yet. The register screen works. Let me do a login here. And that's all running and saving and fetching data from Postgres. So I believe I installed Azure Data Studio so that I can open up and browse and interact with Postgres. Now, it didn't even hit me that I could install pgadmin. Like, I've got Data Studio here, and this gives me GitHub Copilot suggestions also. So, like, let me look at that, because that feels cool. You know? Yeah, the local container. Go ahead, get connected. Show me the things, right? So I put everything in the Postgres schema instead of the tag schema because I'm lame. But there you go. There's all the tables. I don't know. Maybe I should leave the ASP.NET Core stuff in the ASP identity stuff in one schema and put all the tags app stuff in another schema. I don't know. So there you can see it isn't currently watching any tags. I thought we had it saving that. Back over to admin. You were going to watch .NET. Right, and it's properly saved. Good. So those features are kind of updated and out there. Hey, Chris Funk, hello. Pennsylvania is warmer than Dallas, Fort Worth right now? Really? It's 36 Fahrenheit here. So now you need something like telex to make with the quick setting, opening and closing terminal with control space. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit harder to do. I mean, right? You can. I forget. Oh, I don't have the Power Toy installed. Take a look at Power Toys. I don't have it installed on this machine. Excuse me. Take a look at Power Toys. That's going to get you pretty far. Okay, so my users panel works. Providers does not work. Customization. That waterfall header component. There it goes. I don't feel good about that. I clicked save. What did it just like? There it is. Why didn't it update? So, all right. I could work on blocked users is going to be easy to do. We started work on moderation, and it's got some of the stuff in there. Let's take a look at moderation. And I was doing a bunch of migration from very heavy JavaScript focused content to interactive Blazor server side content. So let's reopen that, dive in, and update. So open, let's go. Oh, of course. Sure, go ahead. There we go. All right. Come on, finish loading. Sure, that's fine. So the moderation page, and I have the existing moderation page built with straight ASP.NET and a heck of a lot of JavaScript. So okay. Let me close a bunch of these other files that I don't need because it looks like an unmade bed out here with all this nonsense all over the place. Don't need that. We can get rid of some of this. All right. So the moderation page had the ability to do a bunch of filtering on here. So you could control what information is displaying on screen. I think that's going to get a heck of a lot easier when we're doing that filter management in C#, and we can, and this is running C# with interactive server mode. So we're pushing and reading that information on the server and updating it directly on screen. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that controls and pushes the various cards with content on the screen for Tags app. I haven't talked about what Tags app is here in a while. Let's bring that up. So Tags app gives you a way to show off and discover content from various social media services in one place. So not only can we, no, you can't see the, oh, you still can't see it. Oh, man. And now you can see it. Not only can we hit Twitter, but we also can hit Mastodon, YouTube Chat Live. We've got work in place for Blue Sky. That's almost ready to go. We support Twitch chat, YouTube live chat, and we're going to add Discord into this and a whole lot more. So that's the goal, is to have these little cards of data with the various messages for content that you're tracking and display on initially on this waterfall type user interface. We have additional user interfaces that we'll support in the future. So, but the moderation screen here, right? Clearly some of the styles aren't coming through yet, but we'll have it lit up here so that you can see here's the other content that's being discovered and managed, and moderate it before it gets to that host-facing, audience-facing screen that we can use. All right. So looking back over here, I'm trying to remember where we left off. Ah, yes. We need a way to fetch the current count of blocked users. Well, the messaging service that I have that we've delivered, I thought had, maybe it doesn't. I thought I had a iMessaging service, iMessaging service. That's the same thing. Well, shoot. How are we getting the number of blocked users before? I'm just going down the list, and here's the feature. Go fill it in. Yeah, there's a blocked user count that it was calculating. It was reaching into the iModeration repository. All right, fine. Give me one of those. Right? Like, that'll be a thing. So Blazor has a dependency injection feature here, so I'm going to inject a moderation repository. So I should be able to say blocked user count equals, right? Yo. And that should be async. No, it was right. Get current blocked user count. Cool. Oh, come on. Which means this needs to be made async. What do you... And this needs to be await. Better, but what'd you do to my code here? All right. Does VS use rip grep or its search too? It feels slower than VS Code. I don't know what it uses, Bauxite. Yeah, where'd that A get? You're right. All right, so I have the blocked user, the initial blocked user count. I was using Sweet Alert to allow a to provide some a warning screen here. I don't think I need this anymore because I'm in Blazor. I can pop my own UI if I want. So it sets up to listen for moderation content. Activate. Ooh, that's going to be. Is that going to be a JavaScript thing or is that going to be a C# thing, the keyboard navigation? We'll find out. Window masonry, resize, grid items. Let's take a look at the waterfall page that does that. I don't need this test item here anymore. Start signal R, show modal. I might not need it. Is it waterfall message, Razor? Oh no, this does it right there. Okay, I'll be able to turn this on. I'll be able to reuse this component in moderation mode here. Kwaku Emma asks, when should you choose Blazor or Spa over MVC or other traditional ways of building a web app? Bauxite suggests when you have a significant amount of logic that can be performed on the client side. With the ways that you can build with Blazor now, I'm starting to lean into you should always choose Blazor. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But we're getting there. Where I would say use Blazor for everything, because if you're rendering and building things on the server like you might do with MVC, and you need to at some point say, make this interactive, just turn on that feature when you need it. That's very powerful with a line or two of code to just turn it on. But it's getting there. I think we as a technical community need to explore and understand the framework. Even the folks that built Blazor need to understand the framework, what it's capable of, and where its performance edges are, what's uncomfortable to work with, what needs improvement, so that when we do decide, hey, light this feature up as Blazor WebAssembly, you know how easily it is to just add that in. We're getting there. But you stuck a bunch of Blazor components in the Maui hybrid app last night, and it was crazy awesome. Right? Right, Bauxite? The ability for you to just take some of these things and throw it over the wall into another, into a hybrid application that'll run natively on Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. That's really powerful. So, you've been fairly disappointed with Maui. It's, I've said multiple times on stream, Maui's in a very political position, the most politicized framework of .NET, because of the breadth of devices it needs to support. And that is not trivial. Consequently, one of those devices, operating systems, SDKs, updates, and they have to update the entire framework to support it. It is not easy to do. It's not like the ASP.NET team, the Blazor team, that is just following along with, here's the web standards, let's invent something new that sticks within it. Why are you sad about it? Because I found Xamarin tools very difficult to use as a .NET developer, particularly a web developer. So I need to do, right, there's a, we just have a pause button placed here on the waterfall page. So on the moderation page, there is a pause button here, but we actually have, what the heck was that? A pause button component that we can use. Now, right? It isn't finding it. I believe it's a WebAssembly component. Yeah, there it is right there. So while this is listed as, not that one, listed as interactive server, right? I brought in a component that's in the client library, and it should just kind of work here. You were an Android developer before you used it. Basically follows the old school Android patterns with XML views and code behind. Yeah, you still have that in Maui, right? And to be clear, it's the same Xamarin team working on .NET Maui. I agree. Racer syntax isn't as unwieldy as XAML. I'm learning XAML. Our friend Maddie Montequilla is helping me learn XAML slowly but surely. Give me Razor. Give me Razor. So my moderation action capabilities here, they're fine. Now that I've put the pause button in there, did it actually update and did I save it? Yeah, I did. Oh, yes, please rebuild. So it should rebuild, it should bring in that pause button component and light it up and put it on screen for us. Well, the benefit that we're getting with .NET MAUI is now, right, Xamarin is completely integrated and immediately gets the benefits of the rest of the ecosystem. And everybody has it available in downloads, and it's on everybody's machine. There's the pause button right where it should be, down there in the corner. So this is running interactively on the server, and that's a client-side component referenced and included and running down there. All right. Didn't I have to move that somewhere on the waterfall page? It's inside the... No, it's just after the tagged content. Fine. Move it down there. Didn't change. Didn't think so. Yeah. Continuing. So, and there's a wire up for the pause, right? So that we can tell it to start and stop various things here. So I'll just call this the pause button. Public pause button, the pause, really? Can you tell I don't use this keyboard frequently? Fine, go ahead, initialize it. But it'll be a thing. Maybe it's not wired up over here yet. What machine am I using for ARM? This is the Windows Dev Kit. So that little jammy right there. There you go. No. There it is. So. Thanks. I want you to go away. I guess not. So. Your ARM.NET box is your Mac. That's going to be us next week, I think. So. So the pause button isn't actually wired up to anything yet. Okay. We don't really have a modal. And there is a go get my content, existing content, and put it on the screen, and then set up the SignalR connection to listen and receive messages. So on the moderation view, pardon me, excuse me. You believe at some point someone will try and use YAML to define a UI? I'd be okay with that, because YAML's a markup language. Trying to use YAML to script the configuration and deployment of services is trying to use a markup language as script. It's like somebody trying to use HTML to define a distributed application layout. It doesn't work like that. At some point, you end up dropping into JavaScript. Listen for moderation content. Listen for... Is it going to find it? There it is. Yes. Look at that. Jumped right into the JavaScript. So, sets up a hub connection, listens for new waterfall message, and listens for a message that was approved or rejected, or if a new moderator appears, or we removed a moderator, or we've changed the number of blocked users, blah, blah, blah. What's that on the top of the editor that shows the parent stuff? That's called sticky scroll. So, sticky scroll right here. It's in text editor general. Group the current scopes within a scrollable region of the editor window. And you could set the maximum number of lines. And when you do go beyond that maximum number, you can tell it, well, which scopes should it retain? I'm at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 7 here. So I can see that I'm still in this if block up there. Right? So get content for the tag, get the current moderators after it starts the connection here. So we've got to migrate and get all this working over here. So let's bring this over to here, and I'm going to set up a method called listen for moderation content. Sure, let's await that. Async task listen for moderation content. And I'm just going to paste in the JavaScript here, which feels like a violation, but
I love it when a plan comes together.
I'm going to change this to C#. You think there's a plugin for VS Code that gives sticky scroll? Maybe. Don't know. All right, so the current tag. Really? Is that what it is? All right, we're kind of mixed in C# and JavaScript, so it's clumsy here right now. I guess that works. Okay. Can I do an encode URI on that? No, I don't even need to do that. So violation is like when a plan comes together? No. Plan comes together because we're going to convert this. So this is going to be like that. We're going to convert this to .NET string interpolation. Thank you. I have its new hub connection builder over here. I need a navigation manager. And I also need the SignalR client. Yeah. All right. Here. Oh, you're killing me here. New hub connection builder. What's the deal? Right. Get back to me as I migrate. Why isn't that commented? What happened? Yeah. Should we be like that? I'm game. No. It's still confused. Alright, fine. I need a with URL. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. And we did navigation manager to absolute URI. Something like that. I want, can I do with automatic reconnect? Now, connection isn't a thing yet. So I need one of those. Yeah, it's a hub connection. Ah, thank you. Should just write the JavaScript in F# and fable it over. No. I like C#. So that should get me connected and running properly. Looks like it is. I don't know. Maybe. Now we need to set up some of the... I didn't actually start the connection. Yeah, there you go. I hate F#. There, sure. Right. Come on now. I love all the .NETs, even Visual Basic. C# just happens to be my jam. All right, so... Man... So we will receive content on this, and what I should be able to do... Right, I should be able to say... And actually, let's go over to the moderation hub. We can see exactly what type it delivers. Because this is on new waterfall message. It's a content model. Okay. So if we're currently paused, I thought that was being managed by pause button, isn't it? Man, that one. There we go. The pause button. Add message to pause queue or format message, and I don't need to do this because I can add it into a collection that'll be painted on screen. Right, so there's a sorted list of content right here. That's the pause button. Like, this is a very complex screen that we're migrating. So, to migrate it and update it so that it's using it's using Blazor instead of JavaScript. A little bit of a step here. So we're going to say content add. So it's a date time offset. Oh, come on, man. Can you at least show me what content model? No. I feel like there's pieces here that aren't quite working. Timestamp is the first bit. And content. So that'll put it in the collection that'll be painted on screen. So if a message was approved, we're going to do this stuff. It calls a method called approve message. If we're not currently paused, if we are in pause state, go look in the pause queue and find that content. Here's what I'm going to do. What? There we go. Yeah, like that. That's exactly what I wanted. All right. So let's move and work on this one. So this should be C# connection, right? And new approved message receives a moderation content model. The pause button is paused. I like that. All of the pause information, pause state, is stored in the button. So we got to figure out what this is. Otherwise, we're going to go rifling through the pause queue. Now, what was the pause queue? Just an array. Great. So, right, add message to the pause queue just does pause queue push. But that's me taking advantage of the dynamic nature of JavaScript there. Hey, Speedy. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's go back to the moderation hub for a second. So, moderation content model and content model. They don't inherit from each other. This is the time where some of the C# folks would say, see, you need discriminated unions. You need a discriminated union so that you can say the pause queue contains this type or that type. And then your queue can contain whichever type you like, because you're saying it could contain any of these types. Maybe. Maybe. if I did that? What if I did that? Hmm. Yeah. That's very much JavaScript, and it's not quite going to work. So the pause queue is the collection of things that have arrived while you've pressed pause on the screen. When you unpause, everything that was in the pause queue is going to be updated on screen, right? This is a way for you as a moderator not to get overwhelmed with content happening. So if item is if it is moderation content model, so it's already, right? It's already been approved, and the information carrying it is somewhere else. If it already is one of those, continue. I think I'm okay with that. But we need to use .NET types for these. Yeah, so it's a content model, but it doesn't have a moderation state. Here we go. So I could call toModeration content model and pass in the action that took place on it. Yeah. Actually, I could remove it and just add the new item. Yeah, let's do this in a more linked way. Right? I'm going to go through the pause queue, which is actually an array. Right? First or default. Is a content model. Content. Now, provider ID is like the unique ID that Twitter or Twitch assigns to your message that you've sent. So I'm saying go find that one. If existing is not null, then we want to remove it from the pause queue. but it's an array. We don't want it to be an array. Oh, it's a hash set. Yeah. There we go. Done. That should work. Or not. What did we do? Bad things, man. Bad things. While I'm waiting for this to build, let me jump back over here to the screen. Hey, Ryan. How you doing? Let me grab that message. You've tried everything and you're feeling kind of overwhelmed. That's a little common, folks that are getting back into the swing of things at the beginning of the year. You need some help. You don't know why I always feel like I'm making no progress. You coded yesterday early, and I don't know what to do anymore because I'm overwhelmed with content that I'm rushing into too quickly. Okay. Let's pause for a minute. Let's take our time. Take a deep breath. Let's reevaluate what you were looking at, what you were working on. It's common to get overwhelmed. It happens. It happens to all of us. It happens to me a lot. Take a step back. Reevaluate what you accomplished. Try and set some realistic goals around what's going on, what's happening around your code, the content that you're working on. Let's set some realistic list of tasks. Let's do a little self-project management. Okay? Create a little bit of a list of tasks, and when you have a list of tasks in front of you and it's a little bit clearer, these are the things that I want to accomplish, and being able to check those off is going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you recognize your accomplishments. Take a look back at what you committed to source code, the volume of code that you wrote. Review it. What did you do good in there? What needs a little bit of improvement? Take some notes on that. This is something that folks here in chat are saying happens to the best of us. It does. And I'm happy. I'm glad that you shared that with us, Ryan, because I want to make sure that you know you're not alone, that this happens to me all the time. Okay. When I was trying to learn, semantic kernel just before Christmas, it was like the week of the 21st of December. And I was reading through and looking at the documentation, and I was spinning my wheels, right? Just like a car stuck in the mud, spinning my wheels, and I'm not really going anywhere, right? Or a car stuck in the snow, stuck on the ice, spinning your wheels, you're not going anywhere, and there's just a lot of smoke, and nobody likes the smell of that smoke because it's burning rubber. Ugh. You're not alone. Take a step back. Reevaluate what you've got, and there's groups of folks out there that are able to listen, to help out. It's okay. It happens to all of us, and we want to make sure. I want to help make sure that developers that are younger than me, because I'm getting up there in years, that you feel confident that these, when some of these things happen to you, and as you go through your career journey, you're able to recognize them and take a pause for you so that you can help refocus, level set, do better. Not a problem, Ryan. You don't need to explain anything like that to me. That's okay. Not a problem. We as a community are in this together. Somebody else is going to read your code someday. Somebody else is going to pick up and use your applications, your system someday. That's okay. And we're going to and we as a community need to be able to handle and support each other. So, Semantic Kernel is a little bit of a beast, Chuck. Yeah, I have a meeting with some of those folks later today. So, and I think it will be the best thing this year. I'm going to help them out with it a little bit. So, Chris chimes in, says, understands the feeling, been a web forms developer for 15 years, making the transition to newer .NET technologies. Yeah. It can be a little daunting, and that's okay. Hang on. The course quality is bad because I've been taking a course. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. The Bauxite, I'm in a similar boat. The folks that are struggling with what do I learn next? What's the next thing? I would somebody, I want somebody to listen to me. I want to ask questions and talk to some folks that are, can be a little bit of a mentor, can help out and show some cool ways to build and work with applications or programming language techniques or what have you. That's exactly kind of the mission and the purpose behind these streams, to be there for other folks. It's okay, dude. We got you. And happy to listen and help out with those types of things. Yeah, never leave a man behind. That's right. Right, never leave a teammate behind. And we're all in this together. You've made programs based on... That's okay. That's okay. So, help to slow down, come back to basics. There you go, Thai TV. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yep. It's easy to think you're putting things into fourth gear and you're raring to go and you're going to put it into top speed and stuff doesn't feel right, doesn't look good. Step it back a little bit, reevaluate. You're going to be okay. Yep. Speedy chiming in. Love the support here, chat. Love it.
Make it so.
Yeah. As developers, we're constantly learning. Totally. Technologies are constantly changing. Yep. Yeah, Chuck, I'm looking at wanting to do more. Yep. Oh, Chaotic Monkey, that's very kind. Ryan, seriously, there's other folks in my life that I'm happy to listen to and be there for. Writing programs that solves problems and needs. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I'm with Chris Funk on that. That's pretty cool. So, Chuck, I'm talking to the team a little bit later today, and after I talk to them, I may take you up on that. So, yeah, not a problem. And Brian, find some music that works for you. Find that scenario that puts you in that happy place, that mindset where you feel like you can get stuff done. You feel like you're accomplishing something. I love the synthwave music that we're listening to. Oh my gosh, I've got playlists of it on YouTube. I can't play it here on the live stream, but I've got lots of playlists that I listen to and I bounce around. that help me focus and feel good about what I'm doing. It's just a music thing that I listen to. So can I link some? So this is what I'm currently listening to. This is Stream Beats. This is the Stream Beats synthwave playlist. Oh, come on. It's not showing me. It's not showing me the ones that I really like here. Hang on. No. That's all me. It was, yeah, it was right in here. And this particularly is a favorite. It's an hour-long playlist that I listen to. So there you go. Go ahead and check that down. Check that down? Check that out. But there's a handful of them by that same artist that I bounce around. But they're not on Spotify. I wish they were, so they'd get paid a little bit, but always having a network of fellow coders around you. Yeah, absolutely. The Discord, there's folks that chat there and get back and forth a little bit. And there's a couple voice channels open there if folks want to jump in and hang out. I'm happy to jump in and listen every now and again. So, but you code left-handed. Speedy, I did not know. See, and right, I don't assume anything about any of the folks in chat. You're typing and talking to me. I don't assume your gender. I know there's one or two folks that do code with alternate means of input entry. That's okay. But yeah. Does it make sense to create an async void callback because the timer class doesn't take an async task? No. Oh, you got the sticky stuff working. Sticky lines, old school coder. Cool. Ty TV says when things feel overwhelming, it means you need to split things up a little bit more. Yes, that's a great point. If things are feeling overwhelming, you give a little bit more definition to what your tasks are. Right now, I don't really have definition around this task for migrating to Blazor. It's just get it working in Blazor. And it is feeling a little bit overwhelming because I'm not completing things. I don't really have a checklist. So, all right. I'm going to jump over back into the code here. But, gosh, checklists do help out a lot. They do. And I feel like when I'm, as a developer, I feel like errors from the compiler are another type of checklist for us, right? This is one of the reasons I like a compiler, is because before my code runs, there's something out there checking to make sure these things work together or not. And the compiler does that for us, right? So getting that information back, being able to work with it, is handy. You hear Rust has really nice error messages? I don't know whether that's a joke or you're telling the truth there, because I haven't spent time with Rust. So, how can you walk around that then? Should I use test.run async methods? I'm sorry, Lost. I'm not familiar with the context of what you're trying to do there. Async void callback because the timer class doesn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what your code looks like to be able to tell you how to write that code. It has good error messages? Okay. Cool. I mean, Rust isn't my bag. I'm .NET developer, but okay. Learn something new. Elements defined in a namespace cannot be explicitly declared as private protected. What? That tells me. Do I have something closing here that had an extra closing brace there. There are folks that are reading into the latest check-ins on the new versions of .NET stuff, and they're making assumptions and whatnot. There was a group of folks that got very upset about a potential syntax that was being planned and structured and set up to be released 2 years ago. And they were quite vocal, and the amount of venom from this corner of the C# language community was amazing. Just an amazing amount of hate about this feature. So the team said, fine, we'll pull the feature. And here we are a year later, and one of the features that was going to be augmented and make it absolutely amazing to have this, it was this null checking indicator. One of those features is primary constructors in C#. And now folks are saying, I really hate writing the guard clause for the null check on the primary constructor. To which the language team says, you just complained for 2 weeks straight that you didn't want that. That you wanted full control over the null check. So I would encourage you, you don't see the full picture that they're building. Don't form an opinion on whether something is valid or not. That's right, the bang bang. Don't form an opinion on it because you don't see what they're looking at for not just C# version 13, but they also have in mind, well, if we put this into 13, means we can release this in version 14 and that in version 15. There's that type of structure. And things like an update to async are not strictly a language feature. It's also a runtime and base class library feature. Be aware there are bigger moving pieces that you may not be seeing all of. So I encourage you, while it's fun to watch check-ins and comments on issues, you can absolutely do that, and you can learn about that. But don't go off the deep end, because they have a larger vision that isn't fully communicated, and purposely isn't fully communicated. So, found you've been writing C++ for a while. You love it. You learned that autistic folks like low-level programming. Okay. Very cool, Speedy. Oh my gosh, that's great. A language just a tool, and it's not about learning a language fully. It's about solving a problem. That's right, Ryan. Yep, it's about solving problems. Okay, Lost, you're trying to... Hang on. Let's put some code out here to talk about. No, I said public. So you have a method here called bar. And you're trying to set up a timer. Right? And a timer takes a callback. Hey, what do you want to run when? Right? So you might pass in some sort of a callback here. Right? I'm not going to pass in. Sure, that's fine. Oh, come on. Thank you. What don't we like about that? Time span, time span. Yeah, what doesn't it like? Why am I getting the red line? Do time, period. Timer callback. That... Ow, do I have to wrap this as a new timer callback? And why don't we like that? Oh yeah, what does timer callback take? Fine. Run this. Yep. Why am I... What the heck? New timer callback. And it wants an object. Fine. Why is that weird? I thought there was a way to call a timer here and pass in and... no, run this. Yeah, there it goes. There it is. Okay. And your question is, doesn't allow you to take an async task for callback. Really? Why did you change that? That's funny. It should, right? No. So if we use a periodic timer, oh, come on. Really? Why was it suggesting register? No. Okay. If I had, it looks like I have to use the timer then. That's annoying. Which means, right, this needs to be like that. So if you did need to run something asynchronous, you got to do the get await or get result, right? Oh, give me something async. Right, where you might do await task.run. Right, gosh, you can't do that. And even then, get rid of that. And that will properly pause when you say get await or get result. I don't like doing that. So, but that will block on that line while it's waiting, because it isn't it isn't doing whatever, right? It isn't so if you have multiple things that you do want to run asynchronously, right? This keyboard, I'm becoming less and less a fan of this keyboard. Right, then instead of doing, right, await task when all, right, you can't do that inside the, right, hang on, it let that go, async void. Right, let's make sure, I don't want to dig down into theory too much on this. When you use async and await syntax, it's firing a method, some other thread, doing a thing, or going off and running it, and it potentially is releasing that thread and coming back. When you're running on a timer, right, you're already on another thread. You're already out on some background process that this thing is going on. Why a timer and why not a loop? Like, you can do async void. I don't like async void. This might be one of those situations where you're okay doing async void, but you're on a timer. You have no way to handle the result from that task anyway. So I don't like that at all, because I feel like I've lost my safety net. You can do it, If you need a timer because you're running some sort of a regular scheduled thing, I would set up a loop. I would set up a loop and a method so that I can take full control. And when that concludes, fire the next run through the loop. It is a background task, but you have no way. Yeah, you have to be thread safe. You're really giving up control. Close what account? Let me go to this question here, and I'll move back into the moderation screen we're working on. Do I think AI will eventually replace developers? No. We get this question a lot. No. Define AI. I've had this conversation with Richard Campbell a bit. What the folks outside the artificial intelligence community call AI are those things that don't have a name yet. What folks are currently calling artificial intelligence is large language models. What OpenAI does, what DALL-E does, it's large language models is what those things are. They're nothing more than a text calculator. You feed it a block of text and tell it, guess what the next words are. Or give me something that was a response to something like this. And it digs through a gigantic model that it's put together, formulates a response, calculates what the appropriate words are that go next to it, and returns that. There is no thinking. There is no processing. There's still a developer. There is still somebody who asks questions to get it to generate that content. This gets very interesting when we think about and we look at stuff like the New York Times and various other publications saying, we won't have artificial intelligence generated content. Okay, what do you call artificial intelligence? If you refer to any kind of computer-assisted generated content, what about spell checking? What about grammar checking? When it comes back and it says, oh, you know what, this is in passive tense, you should have this in more active tense. And it gives you a suggestion, the computer gives you a suggestion to change something from passive tense to active tense. Is that, or change something from past tense to future tense, or present tense, these types of things. Is that artificial intelligence? Is it? Because then I could argue you've been using artificial intelligence to write articles, books, for decades. Is it intelligence? It knows how to change your tense. It knows that you spelled something wrong and it's recommending a better spelling for it. Is that intelligence? This is the same thing as when search engines came about. Oh my gosh, nobody's going to go to the library because they can just type in a couple keywords into Yahoo and Google and they can find the source of all knowledge on the internet immediately. That's right, we can. But then you have to sift through it and find out what actually meets your needs. Just like when you go to the card catalog in the library or you go into an encyclopedia and you look up that article on bridges. Well, what kind of bridges are you talking about? A footbridge, a cable bridge, a suspension bridge? What type of bridge are you talking about? And you need to identify, does this meet your needs? Does this solve your problem? Artificial intelligence is not solving software development. If you're asking me, will it ever solve software development? will it ever replace software developers? In the year 5000, maybe. Sure. I'm worm food at that point. I don't give a damn. Am I going to lose my job before I retire in 2040? No. No. There are two very loud sides to the artificial intelligence discussion. There's I see being referenced as the AI brothers. These are the folks who said, "Oh my gosh, I pivoted my Bitcoin startup and now we're doing artificial intelligence, and you should see the model that we built on top of OpenAI." They're literally doing a money grab from investors. They're not actually inventing anything. It's like building a spreadsheet in Excel and trying to sell it. No. You didn't invent anything. On the other side, there's the naysayers. They're the very conservative folks that are on Fox News saying artificial intelligence is going to enable your car to come crashing through the front of your house and kill you because your car doesn't like you. What? What? The robots are coming and they're going to kill everybody. Make sure you have your guns ready to go when the robots come. What? Oh, the news programs in the States are nuts. When you hear how paranoid folks are on Fox News, Newsmax, and some of these other very ultra conservative channels, it's insane. Like, what do you mean there's artificial intelligence in the Tesla cars so that they can detect people in other cars because they want to kill them? They want to run them over. They're going to identify babies in strollers and run them over because the machines want to take over. Dude, I want to know what you were smoking last night when you watched The Matrix. It's not real. That's not how this works. You're making things up. I'm waiting for somebody to turn around and say artificial intelligence isn't what Jesus wanted. Really? Really? 2,000 years ago, he knew. Come on now. So it's all a plot to distract people from real news that are only shown a few independent outlets. That's right, the real news. What you need to know about what's going on in the basements of the pizza parlors. Yeah, okay. Smoking something while watching The Matrix isn't a good idea. Look. The whole point of mind-altering chemicals is to expand your mind. And if something's scaring the crap out of you, well, you need some help. Fourth one tries to be too clever. I kind of agree with you, Warm Peas. The fourth one did go a little bit far. Don't take your hallucinations and stick them online. Oh. I think there's different ways to look at that and consider that. Some could be constructive. So some could be, it could help improve things. Others, not so much. Moving on. We're working on the moderation page over here, and I think we had some things break over here. Type or namespace content model could not be found. Add message to pause queue. Well, I don't actually need that. I can just say, right? Pause queue add. That'll take care of that bit. You don't know what to believe anymore. The zeitgeist seems to be nothing is true and everything is possible. You've been watching Zombo.com. Zombo. Everything is possible on ZomboCom. Welcome to ZomboCom. ZomboCom. Everything is possible on ZomboCom. Right? It doesn't know what content model is. It doesn't know what moderation content. I'm missing a using statement is what's going on here. I need view models data dot. This one. I choose you, Pikachu. And give me a using statement up there somewhere. Ta-da. Get rid of the semicolon. And give me a rebuild. Show me. Your friends that you consider a bit drawn to conspiracies think there are the rational ones and just need to open your mind. Open your mind to some new ideas. ZomboCom is full of ideas. ZomboCom will help you. ZomboCom. Anything can be done at ZomboCom. Inject attribute as a type. What? Inject. Yeah. Cannot apply indexing with square brackets. Line 160. What? Where do you see square brackets, dude? Rebuild that, John. Open your mind to Zombo. Ryan asks, is Razor or should I change to Blazor? Well, Blazor uses the Razor template engine, and I think the time is close to start using Blazor to build your applications. I would suggest you can build Razor components that are compatible with both Blazor and MVC and Razor pages. So if there are things that are natural components, build them as Razor components, use them in MVC and Razor pages, migrate when the time feels right for you to go to Blazor, bring them on over. Open your mind and buy our alpha male pills, guaranteed to make women love you at ZomboCom. Where the heck is this? Moderation Razor 160. That's not what's here. In a lambda. Well, I am in a lambda expression. Oh dear. All right. Fine. So I'm doing a lambda in a lambda. Okay. So let's say handle approved message. ZomboCom. Zombo is calm. Is ZomboCom. I need to be careful. I'm going to get carried away with that. Handle approved message. And what was this? This is a moderation content model. I should put a void in front of that, shouldn't I? Get rid of that. Right? Oh, look at that. Okay. So get rid of this. Put a thing down here with a thing over there. Ooh, look at that. No. Now what do you think? Tell me, C# compiler. That's the cool thing about ASP.NET. Anything can be used anywhere. Right, Julian? Julian's right. The ASP.NET framework team has designed all of these different components to be very compatible with each other. So, oh no. Too many characters in character literal. What? 149 and 160. Oh. Yeah. that. Right, because it was still JavaScript-y with single quotes. Now, man. 160. Yep, same deal. Same deal. I just want a button that I can press that says, make this JavaScript into Blazor. Be quick about it. Chop, chop. There we go. Working on shaders. Cool. I make funny things happen in web browsers. All right, so that's actually working now. Yay. Next, new rejected message. A source generator that spits out C# from JavaScript. Yeah, that's easier said than done. All right, so we need, here's our next one. Bit of JavaScript that we're converting, and I still have to, right, so handle approved messages down here, and we still need to say, well, approve this message. So I have a way to do that. Try to make your own DSL for working with hamlib to control radios with .NET. All right. What? This one, new rejected message. All right, so we're going to change this to connection on, and this receives a moderation content model. It's only a model. All right. So if the pause button is paused, reject message, and we don't know what that is. Write this method. And then here it is. It's going and finding it and saying reject it. But I feel like that's the exact same thing that we're going to do down here. Right? I mean, I don't even need to set the moderation state, just yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that works, right? Building. Yeah, oh yeah, the link came through. Yep, it built. Cool. Which means, yeah. All right, that looks like it's working. More code. Well, that's neat. New moderator, remove moderator, new blocked user count. See, this, let's do this one. I like this one. Right? Did I just? Yep. That should help, but too many characters in literal because I've got the JavaScript content. All right, let's do this one. Because I think this one's interesting. New blocked user count. Right? returns an int. So I don't need to say document get element by ID. Right? Because it's in a property right there. And I need to do a state as changed so that it updates the user interface. Got to upgrade your brain to not blindly follow tutorials? Yeah. I kind of agree with you on that. And that's why I like to put in the, and I put in the C# in the cards tutorials. Hey, tinker with this. Try out and put some different settings in here and see what it says. See what it does. The weather's coming. When the reject and approve happens and we need to update those items, we're going to need to force a similar state has changed to update the user interface. New moderator and remove moderator. Oh, these are good ones. So there's a collection of moderator information that we don't have here yet. Where to go? That shows, hey, here's the list of folks that are currently moderating. There we go, current moderators. So this is a really cool feature that shows the gravatars of the various moderators there on the screen. And, right, so you can look at it and know, hey, Jeff and Mahul and Jamie and Myra are all reviewing content that's being passed through. And there was a point during the keynote where Mahul, Jamie, and Myra were all working together with me to review content for .NET Conf using this app. So we're going to put a little for loop to show here's the current moderators on screen, but in the old JavaScript. The old JavaScript out there. Right, get current moderators. There was a method here called add moderator. Love hitting that F12 and jump right to definition. And it just works with this collection of moderator entries on screen. And that's kind of annoying. This is what makes Rust error messages so good. It rewards you for experimenting. You could put C# code into the Rust component and it would tell you exactly what was wrong with it and how to transform it to Rust. Neat. That's okay, that's kind of neat. So this feels like just a for loop that we should put on the screen around a collection of moderator objects, right? So when it notifies us, hey, there's a new moderator. There's a new moderator entry. There's also a method here somewhere, get current moderators. Yeah, there we go. And it returns a collection of moderator entries. So let's hang on. No, I'm okay with that there. I'm okay. I was thinking, do I need to put this in a view models? Nope. Nope. So Bauxite, I look at that as something where programming languages and compilers and in general software tool makers learn from each other. That's a feature that you like in that compiler Okay, if that feature was also available in the Java compiler, in a JavaScript linter, folks would really rave about it. Say, hey, that's really great. That's all. That's what analyzers and code fixers try to do for folks in .NET. And many of C#'s features that folks really enjoy, thinking about you, Link, and async and await, have been adapted and adopted by other programming languages and compilers. There's nothing wrong with that. And that goes back to a little bit of my push that we are a larger technical community learning from each other and building based on what other folks have built and learned and whatnot. So there's a really bad weather system coming here to Philadelphia region that we need to I'm keeping an eye on. All right, so on the moderation page, I do have access to that new moderator, right? That new moderator type, because it's all running on the server. So I can have a collection here. Do I want it to be a list or do I want it to be a hash set? I could make it a hash set, right? Of new moderator objects. And let's just call this, thank you, moderators. And where is that? That's being managed on the moderation hub. Okay. Because it's managing the connections incoming and outgoing. Yeah. So let's do this. Where'd it go? Yeah, get current moderator. So let's call that, get the collection of moderators back and work with it. But I can't do that until after I'm connected. Fine. I can at least format it up here. Right? Moderator in... Right, it's going to be something like this. And I'm going to go back to the JavaScript. So what it wants, I'm not even... Right? What we used to do, something like this. So it wasn't a span, it was an image. ID is moderator dash, and then that moderator email. Okay, sure. Moderator dot email. Did you see what Copilot just did? Holy smokes. Does that compile? No. Fix it. I'll fix it. You got the southern end of that system before things got crazy? Yeah, we're going to get it. Which IDE is this? Visual Studio 2022. Looks a little different. Okay. I do put my tabs down the side here instead of across the top. That's a big thing that folks look at. Typer namespace name new moderator could not be found. Yeah. That's the wrong mouse. There we go. Yeah, because... Hey, sounds good. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us here. I need to get a using statement in there for these. And I'm right on the edge of... Do I have too many using statements for this page? The name current moderators does not exist. I thought I just called it underscore moderators. Fine. Is that better? No overload method on takes 2 arguments. 186. Now it does. Speedy says, I think you never stop learning in life. Agreed. That is a fantastic point. Every day is a school day for you with C#. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, Look, I'm learning every day also. I'm breaking a lot of junk here. That feels bad, man. What? Rebuild it. Yeah. Come on. Hey, Max. Welcome. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Get my Blazor DLL. And there's a whole lot of code there that we need to... Warnings we need to clean up there. How long have I been programming? Too long. If you're asking me how long I've been programming, the answer is longer than you. I've been programming since the 80s. I've been programming professionally since the 90s. I graduated college in the 90s. I'm completing my 10th year working for Microsoft. So, yeah. I've been around for a while. Why you want to get rid of Monaco in favor of CodeMirror? Why not? It's not a good fit. Okay, whatever. It's your program, your decision. Go for it. Go forth, be happy. Okay. So, new moderator. We need to add the moderator. Oh, this is going to be real easy. So, I'll add this method from JavaScript. Hey, Black Girl Bites. Hello. Welcome. Appreciate the follow. Monaco's having issues with your Angular app. You're 2 years done on your degree. Oh, that's great. Sounds good. Working on some side project with PHP to build portfolios. Okay. If you want to try something neat with PHP, check out the project Peach Pie. All right. And you can find it at peachpie.io. Check this out. It's a compiler for PHP to run with .NET. The idea here is you can still write your PHP, but it'll get compiled and delivered and run inside a .NET application. So some of the things that folks are concerned about with code getting overloaded, rewritten with PHP because it's all interpreted, it actually ends up running faster because it's compiled and runs with .NET. And you can then reach into the .NET objects from your PHP. So you've just doubled the surface area that you can work with. Exactly, Brainy. Yes. Right? Let me go back. Build, debug, profile, and diagnose your code in the family of .NET tools with PHP. Leverage the best of both worlds and build apps in C# and PHP. That's called Peach Pie. I can't copy it out of there because I'm on a different machine. But I can type it in. They have an implementation of WordPress that runs in .NET. Takes all the PHP files and compiles and runs it in the .NET memory space so that you get that type safety protection, that faster Kestrel web server. It's a pretty neat project, and it is sponsored and managed in part by the .NET Foundation and the European Union's Horizon 2020 Reach Innovation Program. Cool stuff. Is there a way to integrate it with a project that is established? Well, if you have an existing PHP project, you can drop it in. Like, you can, right? You can start a program, and then there's a PHP folder that you can go and drop things into here. Right? So, a PHP lib, right? You get all kinds of tools. Reference a PHP project. And use it in other projects. Oh gosh, they're integrating with Blazor. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they were doing that. Yeah, working on their documentation here. So, but migrate PHP code to .NET Core, .NET interoperability. So, it creates like a folder that you can just drop your stuff into, and it should work. And because .NET projects have a way to reference, not necessarily move code into a specific folder, but to say, hey, go include what's in that file folder over there, almost like a symlink in Unix, Linux parlance and structures. You can do that, add a reference to that thing in that folder over there, and it'll just include that entire block. It's been a while since I've tinkered with this, but take a look. I think if you're learning, it's something cool to take a look at and learn more about. Where am I? How am I on time? We should wrap up soon. Okay. I was putting in the new moderator feature here. So connection on, and it's going to receive a new moderator. There we go. And I don't need to say add moderator. I can say, oh, come on. Right? Moderators.add. Hey, sounds good with the sub. Thank you so much. That's very kind, and bringing that Prime sub here. All of our subscriptions, all of our cheers, we donate to various charities, various tech charities. The last 6 months, we were donating our subscriptions and cheers to the American Cancer Society. We lost a number of folks from our community, tragically losing one of the first subscribers to the channel, one of the first supporters back in July 2023. And there's a number of folks that are watching, that are in the community, that are fighting the fight against cancer, and I have one or two family members that are fighting cancer, and happy to support the American Cancer Society that helps everybody in the end beat this terrible disease. Hey, Tobo Nautilus, give me 1 second. I'm going to pin that message. That's a good question, but I'm going to finish this block of code that I'm working on here, if you don't mind. Just save that. Make sure, do a rebuild. You're saying no hot reload changes to apply, but I don't believe you. Come on. And I'll grab grab that question from Azirin and pin that as well. That's good. That looked like it worked. Remove moderator is going to be very much the same deal. I'm going to add that real quick here. Convert this from JavaScript to .NET. So when I receive a message called remove moderator and it passes me an email, I don't need to say go find this element on screen and remove it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say var this mod equals moderators first or default. Oh, come on. Is it just email? Is that what it is? Yeah. Equal, no. Right. Moderator email, string comparison, invariant culture. I'm getting ignore case. I believe that's right. If there it is. Thank you. And rebuilding, that should work. Come on, show me that build. I don't like that it rebuilds everything. Like, why aren't you skipping some of the lower level stuff? Right? I mean, look. You were just rebuilding that one library. Why did it go and rebuild everything? Excuse me. Oh, I'm congested. I'm going to need to take some Sudafed or Dayquil or something. Start the connection, configure, do some of these other things, get content. I'm going to save what I've got right now because we've got a couple good messages, good questions there in chat that I want to get to. I'm going to jump to the bottom panel here. What did I change in Waterfall? Blazor, client, components, pages. Oh, I removed the demo code that was in there. Starting to connect the Signalar hub to the moderation page. This is a big page. This is one of the most feature-filled pages inside the application. That's not it. There we go. So that's saved and pushed up. I'm going to jump back over to the welcome screen because there's a couple of good questions here I want to make sure that I answered. Tobo, I've got your message pinned here, but I want to start with Azirin's question first here. I'm getting a new position as a senior full-stack developer, and the company is wanting to rebuild their app in Blazor. Very cool. I love hearing that, so I have to learn it. What would you say is a good resource for that? We're literally in the middle of rewriting the Blazor modules on learn.microsoft.com right now. In fact, it's something that I'm working on this week. And there's a couple of us working on it. So you could go to those modules and it's going to give you the introduction to Blazor, and all the things that you learn in it are still valid. However, there is a shift in the hosting model where there were only 2 hosting models and you had to choose it up front as you declared your project. It's either running on the server or it's running in the client as WebAssembly. In our new world, there are 5 places that you're with .NET 8. You can still run in that same model, and everything that you could do in .NET 7 and earlier still works. In the new model, though, you can opt in and choose up to 5 different places for your code to run. and we're doing some of that here in TagZap. So I would say, take a look at the Learn modules. You might recognize the author of those Blazor Learn modules. And if you watch the videos that introduce Blazor, you might recognize the guy wearing the shiny purple jacket. There's a couple other good websites out there. Blazor University. Our friend Carl Franklin, my co-host for the Blazor Puzzle podcast, he's hosting a training workshop. Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Online that you can sign up and be a part of. He hosts a video series called Blazor Train. I have Blazor workshops that are available on my YouTube channel. They're about 8 hours that you can watch completely free. Source code is all available. You can download and watch if you're interested. All right. So there's a couple different places that you can go. So, and Azirin, when we're done migrating TagZap to Blazor, I want TagZap, and particularly the Blazor model, to be an example that folks can download and explore, because it is very... I'm doing some advanced mixing and matching of those 5 different render modes between static rendering, streamed rendering, server-side specified interactive, WebAssembly interactive, and auto rendering. There's a bunch of different ways that we mix and match those that I think are compelling for folks to learn from. What is Blazor besides a magical purple jacket? Thank you, Azir, and appreciate the kind words there. I'll come back to your question, Mr. Swez. I have that pinned here. Brainy says, my own LinkedIn learning course was great. Used it on your computer science course. Oh, very cool. Brainy, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Let me back up to this question from Tobo Nautilus. Do I have any tips on how to respond to people who are always bashing .NET ecosystem? Tried to reevaluate Maui, and it's all over the place. Says that it's a waste of time. Here's the thing. There's always going to be a group of folks that don't like anything from Microsoft. Period. End of story. There is no discussing with these people. They will not change their mind. Particularly folks in the Linux ecosystem, where Microsoft has donated tens of millions of dollars over the years to the Linux Foundation. Quite literally, through the Linux Foundation, Microsoft is helping pay Linus Torvalds' salary. It's not a direct thing, but Microsoft is helping pay his salary. Okay? Like it or not, that's happening. And there are folks that really don't like that. But the Linux ecosystem significantly benefits from Microsoft investing and expanding and contributing to it. Like, Azure uses a ton of Linux, and Microsoft has released lots of that source code back into the Linux ecosystem. These folks will not listen. They do not like anything that comes from Microsoft. Doesn't matter how much money they're receiving and benefiting from it indirectly. They don't understand and see that the Microsoft that I work at, and the reason that I work at the Microsoft that I do, is that it is altruistic. The company slogan, the company direction, the company mantra right now is help everyone achieve more. It's not help only Americans, help only Windows users, help only software developers. Help everyone. And achieve more is open-ended. in its interpretation on purpose. So those folks who bash .NET, to come back around to your question, go ahead. Bash it until you're blue in the face. You may like a different language as much as you want. Go for it. Be my guest. But look at what all Microsoft gives back to everybody. Free. Open source. Like, folks are going to hate on Microsoft for that. And Microsoft makes mistakes. It happens. And they go back and fix them. And change them. And improve them. You're welcome to not like .NET. But unlike these other languages and tools that folks use that they think are superior to .NET, great, you've got a language or a tool that is superior to what you perceive is .NET. But by saying that that language or tool is superior to .NET is showing that you don't understand what .NET is. .NET isn't a language. It isn't a runtime. It isn't a UI framework. It isn't a tool. It's all of them. .NET is a series of tools, libraries, runtimes, frameworks, and programming languages that work together to make programmers the most productive as they can be. You can build and do amazing things and take advantage of a programming language that can build websites and can build low-level code that helps run routers on Azure. Build IoT applications that run on tiny little devices. That run on a Raspberry Pi. Same programming language. Same tools. It's that flexible. Think about that. You don't have to learn something different. And you can build and target an iPhone, a Raspberry Pi, the biggest clouds in the industry. So for folks to say, well, .NET isn't as good as JavaScript, I don't think you understand exactly what you're talking about then, because you don't see the full picture. Great. You build a website with Express. That's fantastic. It's single-threaded. It renders and generates funny angle brackets on screen. What happens when you have to actually analyze the data that comes in? Oh, well, I'm going to hand it off to Go or Rust. Does that mean that JavaScript is still better than .NET because I can do the whole thing in the same programming language, in the same memory space, in the same service? And I can do it all in the same code repository with less lines of code because I don't have to hop back and forth between them. No. It doesn't mean it's better. It's different. Does one make you happier than the other? Good. Enjoy. Hey, Mustafa, thank you for joining us. So, you have to constantly deal with colleagues in the consulting company you work for. You're one of the few .NET devs in the shop that does a lot of other things. It is tiring. I agree, Wonkman. I agree. And these folks that Java folks that complain about .NET, they don't get it. They don't get it. Because Java is not a complete ecosystem. Mr. Swez with a question here. Why does my book have so many bad reviews? Because I released my book on ASP.NET Core 1.1 right as ASP.NET Core 2.0 came out. So folks didn't like it. That's why. I'll jump down to this question. Well, isn't .NET a Java JVM ripoff? No. And I'll go back to what I said previously. Sun, and now Oracle, manage and build the Java runtime and Java language. That's it. There is a whole ecosystem of tools and features out there that they don't build and manage. .NET is all of those things and more. So it's not a Java JVM ripoff. C# is a US government mandated, and I'm being strong on that, and I shouldn't be. C# is a language that evolved because the US government drew a line and said, you're not allowed to do these things that Java is doing. You're not allowed to add on and enhance the Java language. So they took those capabilities and added them to a prototype language that was being invented called Cool. And now we've got C#, but the .NET runtime from the beginning, unlike the Java runtime, supports many different languages. Java now supports many different languages. Kotlin on the Java runtime is better than Java. That's your opinion. There are folks that believe F# is better than C# on the .NET runtime. If that works better for them, great. I'm not going to argue with them. There are hundreds of different tools out there, and there are millions of developers, and we build things differently, use things differently, and no two applications are ever the same. So different tools, different features for different folks. Any comments on the claims on is .NET open? These are folks that want every bit of the .NET ecosystem to be open source and completely available for everybody to download and use without penalty. That's very altruistic. That's a wonderful effort. The fact of the matter is, folks need to make money off of this stuff. So to be able to productize and share and make higher level experiences available to folks, as well as lower level experiences for free, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with you get the base level package, everybody gets it for free and open source. But if you want the premium tools, you have to pay for that. Hey, you've got free access to the salad bar whenever you'd like. However, if you'd like steak with that, you need to buy the steak. So, yeah. So having a single company managing .NET is better than a distributed Java ecosystem? Is it? I suggest to you that there are millions of .NET customers who say yes to that, because they have a single point that they can go to and get support. And they know a release cycle of interdependent tools and features and libraries that are always going to evolve gracefully with each other and support each other and be able to help work with each other in a unified fashion, as opposed to some of the problems that we see with the JavaScript ecosystem, where things are so freely available and migrate and update and change and shift and can break dependencies from one version to the next. That's very difficult for customers to be able to manage and navigate, and it's hard to track down and follow. That's absolutely something that's hard to track down and follow. Something that we .NET developers, longtime .NET developers, have experience with, called DLL Hell. Do you remember that? Gosh, I've got version 3 of this DLL that I'm working with, and this library is version 3, and it only works with version 2 of that library over there. Well, I don't have version 2 of that library anymore. I have version 2.5, and that's not compatible with version 3. So if I want to use version 3, I need to roll back that other library to version 2, but I really want to use version 2.5 because it has these fixes that I need. Remember DLL Help? Developers from the late 90s will tell you nightmares and stories about this. It was not a happy time to be a developer. A lot of those problems are fixed now by things around semantic versioning and declaring dependencies on things so that it's very clear what versions are supported between different things. We help that. We improve that. As a technical community, we've started to work around that. However, you still have less sophisticated library authors that don't coordinate and release features and mark dependencies appropriately. And there's still issues that you can run into with package downgrade, as Sky Hoshi's mentioning here. Yes. Right? There were lots of those types of issues, and you see that in the JavaScript community today. And and folks fight that, and it's a real hard problem to solve. It's a hard problem to solve. .NET does it through declaring dependencies clearly in libraries. So, yes, there are folks out there who do say, I'm not using anything unless it comes from Microsoft. And that's their prerogative. But there's also the .NET Foundation out there that manages a bunch of libraries and tries to make sure that those popular open source libraries, community managed libraries, reach a similar level of quality and interaction and interoperability that the rest of the .NET shipped products from Microsoft have. Now, all the shipped products from Microsoft are open source. The libraries, the languages, many of the tools are open source. There are a number of packages and tools that are closed source, that there are folks in the community who are quite vocal that think these should be open source. They can be vocal about that. They're welcome to their opinions. There are executives at Microsoft who believe that those are a competitive advantage and they want to keep them closed source. Right or wrong, that's their business strategy. I work for those people indirectly. I will support their business strategy. Doesn't matter whether I agree with it or disagree with it, that's their business strategy. For my job that I do right now, I will support that. We can have other discussions when I'm not working at Microsoft about whether I support or don't support it, but that whether I agree with it or disagree with it. My agreement or disagreement with it doesn't matter. I support it because that's my job. So, hey, Unhip Coder, thank you so much.
Unhip Coder just resubscribed for 38 months. Yay.
Yeah, appreciate that. 38 months, and I'll make another charitable donation for that. So, NPM Everything package was the, yeah. That was, so ASP.NET and .NET Core version 1 was very much in the mindset of that NPM Everything. Sean, thank you for the cheer.
The underscore sheep underscore underscore moochiered 10.
So, I hope, Mr. Swez, I hope that answers some of your questions. I'm always happy to get into a discussion about some of these things that folks are critical about towards the .NET ecosystem. And it is an ecosystem. There are things that C# is really, really good at. There's stuff that F# is really, really good at and better than C# at. That's okay. Fact of the matter is, Microsoft has a team of about 6 programming language designers that work together on TypeScript, C#, F#, Visual Basic, Pascal, not Pascal, Turbo Pascal, if there's still anything going on there. Python is the one that I was thinking of. Q#, building quantum language capabilities. And they're learning from each other. They're helping each other. They're adding features that are appropriate to their programming languages so that they grow up and enable developers that want to use those programming languages to do cool things together. Yeah, the left pad incident, that was a thing. Who uses Pascal? Yeah, it's not really a thing anymore, but the inventor is still, he still works on C# occasionally, but he's primarily on TypeScript now. So, do you have to get the lantern and descend into the crypts? No. No, guy grabs lunch and sits down in the cafeteria with everybody else, and you can just wander over and sit down, say hello, hey, and I have a couple questions, and usually very happy to talk with you. I appreciate the joke, though. There's a Zork reference somewhere in there, isn't there? You still use Fortran sometimes? That's cool. Hey, whatever. Let me wrap it up here. This has been fun, and I enjoyed taking a little bit of time to do some AMA, and there are folks who do like to poke and ask questions and think that every now and again think they'll troll, and I'm happy to take some of those questions and give you frank answers, and I'm happy to at times say, you know what, yeah, .NET doesn't do that well, or it could be better for feature XYZ. There were folks saying, oh my gosh, .NET MAUI gets a bad reputation for this, that, and the other. Bleeding edge things with iOS and Android, it doesn't do well because they have to keep up. And that's hard to do. Give it a little bit of time and it will do those features better, but it takes time. That's all. So, biz talk. Well, yeah. All right. Let me. I'm gonna wrap it up here. So, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a bit of fun today. We were working on the moderation screen for TagsApp. We got through and built a little bit of that, and we're getting it wired back into SignalR over doing that Blazor work. We talked a bit about these new glasses from our friends at Gunner that have removable lenses, right? Look at this, right? Oh! Remove the lens, and I can magnet in other lenses on that. This is coming out tomorrow. So this is the brand new glasses that they're showing off. They're going to be releasing tomorrow. Thrilled that the folks from Gunner shared this with us, and we were able to debut and talk about some of this on stream today. It'll be in the store tomorrow if you're interested in that. My links down below will get you a discount, not on the newest glasses, not on these glasses, but you can get a discount on those. What you like most with native Microsoft Process is that everything can be accessed by right-clicking. I do enjoy the right-click interface with things. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network, who I can get you connected with. Looking around the horn here. Excuse me. Let me see. Let me get you over to... Oh, my gosh. The ASP.NET Community Stand-Up is starting. Let me get you over there. And you can hang out with our friend John Galloway. So let's set up the raid for everybody on Twitch to join the Visual Studio channel. That's the wrong keyboard. Doesn't work when you type on the wrong keyboard. Yeah, there we go. All right, switching keyboards back. There we go. Fantastic. Those of you on YouTube, check out the other videos that I have available down here. Probably some on the side over there. And make sure you check out my new series, C# in the Cards, where I teach beginners how to get started with C# using a deck of cards as an example for some of the features and capabilities that we're going to be learning in the C# language. Third episode went live today. More details at csharpinthecards.com. All right, get ready to say hi to my friend over on the Visual Studio channel, John Galloway, with the ASP.NET Community Stand-Up. I will see you on Thursday. Until then, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.
Hey.